Sports Minutes with Ziaul Raushan.
Money FM 89.3. It's time for Sports Minutes with me, Ziaul Raushan. Now, this past weekend, teams were wheeling and dealing ahead of the transfer window slamming shut. And no, I'm not just referring to the European football transfer window. It was also trading season over in the NBA, with the headline news being that seismic trade between the Lakers and the Mavs that saw Luka Dončić head to LA, with Anthony Davis heading in the opposite direction to Dallas. A move that sent shockwaves through the basketball fraternity and the wider world of sport, reeling from the secrecy and surprise. So who could we call upon to discuss and dissect the move? How about a man who was former teammates with a certain LeBron James? He also happens to be a two-time NBA champion and an 11-time NBA All-Star. He's none other than Chris Bosh, who was in Singapore for the launch of the NBA Rising Stars Invitational. Chris, a huge welcome to the Lion City. Is it your first time here, and how are you finding Singapore so far?
It's my first time here, and it's great. I've only been here 12 hours, but it's been amazing. The city is beautiful, especially at night. We got to see the light show last night, and it's a pretty iconic image driving up, so it's been wonderful.
Fabulous. And beyond the beautiful scenery, you're here for a beautiful cause as well. Perhaps just tell me, top line, what you're doing in Singapore in terms of with the NBA.
So we're here to promote the Rising Stars initiative coming here in June. A bunch of high schoolers coming down, showcasing their talent. Most importantly, putting on for Singapore and their nations, representing their nations. But the part I love about it mostly is the fact that you get to go somewhere else and play ball. Sometimes when you're in these boxes, when you're playing, it's only so much that you can know. But when you go different places to go play, showcase your talent, it's great for team bonding. It's great fun, and you meet friends. I'm sure a lot of lifelong friends are going to be met during that time. And just the spirit of competition, it brings out a lot in different people, and I think it's going to be a great thing.
And just on that spirit of competition, how important is stress testing stars who want to make it big?
Oh, it's everything, because when I'm in my backyard or on my hoop with my friends, I'm the best player ever, right? But getting to see what else is out there, especially internationally, it gives you a chance to aspire for more, work harder. You might think you're good, and then that kid from China shows up, and you know that you're not that good. So when these kids take this experience back with them to their respective countries, I think they'll improve greatly.
Chris, we'll talk more about the tournament in a short while, but it'll be amiss of me not to be in the company of an NBA legend and talk about that big trade that happened just last week. Your initial thoughts on that trade between the Lakers and the Mavs?
Like everybody else, wow. Something has to happen for the first time ever, which it hasn't not happened before. Wilt Chamberlain got traded, right, to the Lakers. Kareem got traded to the Lakers, Seems like the Lakers are always finding a way to get the biggest and best talent. But, that's what makes it exciting. I mean, if anything, agree or disagree, it's an exciting move for both organizations. I think maybe not the Lakers right now, but the Mavericks, I think that kind of puts them in a interesting spot for the next couple years, championship contention-wise. And for the Lakers, it gives them a cornerstone that they're used to, right? Having superstars or superstars, to be able to help bring another championship to that organization.
And you gave me good balance there in terms of both teams and what they're getting, but I'm tempted to put you under the spot and ask you, who do you think got the better deal, the Lakers or the Mavs?
Everybody's asked me a question. I think it works out both ways. For the Lakers, they were going to have to pay Luka an extraordinarily amount of money, which he deserves. And I'm not a general manager, so having to build around those things and work in the numbers, who knows what they know. But with both things, I want to say for both teams, it kind of equals out. I want to say, probably for the Mavericks, they're going to have to weather the storm a little bit. But just like with anything, if you win, everybody forgets and it makes it better.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sport is fickle that way, right? We've talked about the sporting side. Let's talk about the secrets. How surprised are you at how well kept that secret was?
That was probably the coldest move I've ever seen. And knowing your personnel, I know those guys, I know both GMs. They kind of have that mentality of moving in secrecy and stuff like that when it's time, and especially something like that in today's age, that's very difficult to do. So maybe they'll make a documentary or something, or they need to do some interviews on how. I would love to know how they kept it under wraps, because usually you tell one person, it's on social media the next day and across the world. And a deal like that, usually it derails it. But then for them to actually pull it off is amazing.
I'm pretty sure the Netflix folks are already making plans to make that documentary. Now, you talk about being in that situation before. LeBron is obviously a friend of yours. Has he been in touch? Has he spoken to you about his reactions? Or overall, what do you think is going through his mind at the moment?
Going through his mind, and this is just me speculating, how do we win another championship? I haven't spoken to him, but, with everything as busy as it's going on, I'm sure, on their side, they're going to figure out how do we take advantage of this situation? How can I fit around this situation to make us better? And I'm pretty sure they'll probably be going after players in the summertime too. So that's kind of probably, if me speculating, knowing those guys, they're figuring out how to win.
And we all know LeBron's legacy. Do you think this will then be one of the biggest tests of his leadership in terms of galvanizing that team and getting them pushing in the right direction?
Yeah, I think so, because usually when he's playing alongside a superstar, they're a bit older. This is kind of a situation to where, it's crazy that Luke is only 25 years old, but it kind of gives them a situation where LeBron can kind of teach him, take him under his wing, show him some things, and they can probably work off of each other. And just international-wise, I think it's great. For the game, the Lakers fan base is, one of the strongest in the world. And, again, they're all about championships. So putting them together, Luka being there, win a championship eventually, and that's what it's all about.
Sounds like the dream plan. Chris, if you can indulge me a little, we are in Singapore, so I have to make a reference to football, which is huge here. The transfers work a little differently. In football, the players can either put in a transfer request or run down their contract or something like that. In the NBA, the teams, the franchises have more power. Do you think that should change, and will we see it change in the years to come?
That's a good question. With collective bargaining, and you'll ask a lot of guys from the 90s and 2000s, they will say the players do have power. And that dynamic has shifted a little bit. But, it's a business. We all hate to say those things when it's time, but it is a business. I think players are learning more about what they can do and what can transpire through their career, the demands that they can make. And, the teams are kind of knowing what they have. But if we're going to change things, the players have to know more about the collective bargaining agreement and have to be able to make those requests, sit down at the table, and change those things. We're in it for the next 4 or 5 years right now, so we'll see what happens in the 30s.
Chris, you're tempting me to have an entirely different podcast with you in terms of the player power, but Rhonda's staring at me at the back, so I'm going to bring this back to that reason you're here. What do you make of the fandom for NBA in this part of the world?
It's great. I've been to China, Hong Kong, Japan, Australia. This is another right place for growth. That's why we're here. And I love the fact that we're talking about rising stars. We already know what the NBA can do. We already know, with FIFA and the other organizations during the Olympics and World Championships, we know that. Grown-ups we're good. The young boys and girls who have a chance to compete, to do different things and come here and be showcased, I think that's great. And just really take part in a great experience. I remember going to tournaments, and I remember them for the rest of my life. And it wasn't coming to Singapore, so this is going to be a great experience.
And part of that opportunity, I see diversity is high up the agenda as well. There's opportunities for boys and for girls. Why is that so important?
We got to start giving the ladies their due, man. It's coming to a point where sometimes ladies don't even get a chance. It needs to be equal, right? So the ladies being able to come out, play basketball. So many great women basketball players forever. Yeah. And again, right, for the younger generation to be able to get those experiences, to work on their game, to know that there's more out there in the world. That's really, really important.
Yeah, hopefully, amen to that. This opportunity gives them that platform to go out and achieve great things. I've been to an NBA game before, all the way in LA, and it's quite a carnival. Like, there's music, there's halftime dancers, it's a whole shebang.
Oh, yeah.
Can we expect that in Singapore as well?
I think so. I mean, they were describing all the bells and whistles and all of the entertainment that's going to be coming out here. But let me tell you something. NBA knows how to throw a good time, so I think that's going to be second to none. I think being able to come, and I mean, really just coming out to the city and seeing everybody doing so many cool things on a regular day is pretty awesome. But I think during that week, it's going to be fun for everybody.
Chris, just a final question to wrap things up. We've spoken about giving these kids an opportunity. Mm-hmm. You're a former pro, a distinguished pro who went on to achieve so many great things in your career. So I think the listeners will appreciate this coming from you. The opportunity is one thing, but what else do kids need to succeed to make it?
Working, being a good person, and when I say working, practicing on your game, not only practicing on your individual skills, your shooting, your dribbling, your passing, practice on being a good teammate, practice on being a great friend, practicing on overcoming adversity, but picking your teammate up when things get tough, because sometimes it's not always, great, and the kids coming out to learn about these things, you're going to have heartbreaking losses, you're going to have great wins, but more importantly, work on your game, educate yourself, and be a good teammate and be a good person. I think if you do those things, that's a great start. It's not saying that everything's going to be great, but it's a great start.
Yeah, I thought I was signing up for a basketball conversation. You've taught me some life lessons as well. Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure. Here. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here.
Sports Minutes on Money FM 89.3.